Alright, hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the video for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. My name is Ventus. In this video, I'm going to give you a few tips for fighting Odin to make the fight a little bit easier for you. I just spammed the fight for like 2 hours straight, so I could make this video as best I could. Now, before I get into all that, though, I'd like to thank Square Enix for sponsoring this video by giving me a free copy of FF7 Rebirth. Alright, so this video, for the most part, is going to be super unscripted. I just wrote down about 14 or 15 tips that eventually helped me to overcome this fight. The first one is get all of his divine intels. So whenever you get to Nibelheim for the first time, you don't have to do the story mode right away. You can go and do all the stuff around the map. So do all the stuff around the map, and if you're going to fight Odin, I really suggest to get all of his divine intels, because even at his weakest, which is what you're seeing right now, this is dynamic mode, but he's at his weakest level, it was pretty tough to like learn how to fight him and beat him. So I definitely suggest getting all of his divine intels first. Alright, so the next tip is use characters that have weapons with reprieve as a skill. So reprieve is a weapon upgrade that brings your character back to life should he happen to die. Now, this character has, or this enemy Odin has a special ability called Zantetsuken, which you probably know about already, that if you get hit with him too much, when you assess him, it tells you if you let him hit you too many times, he will do this move and it'll just instantly kill you. Now, if you have reprieve on, you get brought back to life. But it's kind of trash, though, because I used this a bunch of times. I only have one character that had reprieve equipped on him, but it's like as soon as you get killed with Zantetsuken, you get brought back, you maybe bring your characters back, he's going to go right back and do it again. So I would say use reprieve, and I got it here for my second tip, or third tip is use revolver earrings. I would say use those, but only for like if you should happen to die before the Zantetsuken. And so the goal is like to kill him before he does that. Alright, that's always going to be the goal in fighting Odin. Alright, so that was the second and third. Fourth tip, equip everyone with disempowerment and innovation, and use level boost if you have to get both of the skills that are associated with both of those materials. So when you assess him, it tells you that he gets pressured by being hit with detrimental status effects. So these are the only status effects that I find that actually work on him. There could be other ones, like I tried poison, it didn't work. I tried silence, it didn't work. I mean, there's a bunch of, like, there's a huge laundry list of things that just do not work on him. But I know for a certainty, for a fact, that disempowerment and innovation work on him both. With disempowerment, you've got debrave and defaith, and then with innovation, you have deprotect and de-shell. Now, he has one ability that he uses. I can't think of the name of it right now. It's some weird sounding name. But he buffs himself, and he gives himself a bunch of buffs. And you can take those buffs off. But really, realistically, you're only doing this to pressure him. And the next tip is to use those skills as much as humanly possible. You want to debuff him all the time. Every time a character gets an ATB charge, use that to put a debuff on him, because you need to keep him pressured. You got to pressure him as soon as possible. Alright, so the next tip I have down here is use revival materia and healing materia on as many characters as you can. So like I said, with the revival, I only had one character that had revival materia on them, and I really didn't even use it. The runs that I won, I didn't even use revival materia, so you can actually kind of scratch that. But if you need it, like if your characters die and you need to bring them back to life, I mean, definitely use it. But it's not going to work with the Zantetsuken. And healing materia, that's a must. Everybody's got to have healing materia. Now, I only used Regen and Cura. Didn't really use Curaga that much. So just Regen and Cura, those are the spells that you're basically going to be able to use. So if you want to, use like blue materia attached with it, magic efficiency, so you can use less magic points to use healing magic. That would definitely be a huge help, because if you run out of healing magic, or run out of magic points, you're really going to be screwed in this fight. Okay, so the next one is the most important one. Pressure him by dodging all of his attacks, and you can't get hit a lot anyway, because getting hit will cause him to use the Zantetsuken. So this is the part that you're going to have to really go through some trial and error. Alright, so I'm not exactly sure if they count like Punisher mode blocks or perfect blocks. I'm pretty sure perfect blocks don't count. But it just says that whenever he lands a blow or lands an attack, that like encourages him, I guess is the weird wording they use. It encourages him to use his finisher attack or whatever. I'm pretty sure they didn't say encouraging, but it was some weird wording like that in the assess. But definitely dodge his attacks as much as possible when he does the charge. Now, I was getting away with using the Punisher mode block whenever he did the charge. I would, saw that he was going to do the charge. I would go into Punisher mode, hit the block, and then I would dodge away and hit him with a few cloud ranged attacks. So definitely dodge his attacks. Air dodges seem to work the best. Sometimes you'll have to like run, like the spear move when he throws it. Just dodging alone won't work. You have to run a little bit and then dodge it. I don't know, that's weird. I don't know if that's the same thing for you, but for me, like I started off a couple of fights because he always starts off the fight with that spear throw or a charge. So it's the only thing he opens up with. So it's like the couple of times that he opened up with the spear and I just tried to start dodging out of the way, I got hit with the spear. Only when I started running out of the way and then dodging when the spear like came is when I was able to dodge the spear. All right, so the next one is actually one that kind of saved me a lot. I didn't figure this one out until later, and that's because I'm super sped. Use your synergy skills to save your characters from getting hit, right? So, boom, I have Tifa on my team, right? So Tifa, she has 2 synergy skills with Barret and Cloud, which is why I picked these guys specifically for this, because whenever you use your synergy skills with Tifa, your teammates teleport to you. So he can't hit your teammates or he's going to do his whatever. So whenever he goes for your teammates, or for my teammates rather, I would just switch to Tifa and then I would use her synergy of skills to bring her teammates or rest of the team closer to her. And her skills, the skills are the ones where she like gets launched in the air. I think Barret throws her in the air and then Cloud like throws her in the air off of his sword or something like that. So use those skills to save your teammates from getting hit. And if you're not using Tifa, Barret with your team, find somebody else who has skills that really teleport your characters from across the map so they can't get hit. This one's pretty brain dead tip. Save synergy abilities and limit breaks for when Odin is staggered. I know it's sort of like basic, but I gotta tell you, the amount of times that I screwed up on this trying to like, whenever I saw that he was about to be staggered, there was a little bit left to go, I would use the ability, a synergy ability, and he still wouldn't get staggered, or it would get staggered and it was like, dang, I missed out on making a dent in his health bar because I was trying to use his synergy abilities early. So don't cut corners, use the synergy abilities and limit breaks only when he's staggered. Alright, so this one, I don't know, you might get away without using this one, but I found that this works really well for me. These are the last 2. Bring Barret and use Maximum Fury as much as possible. I don't know what it is, but Barret's basic attacks and Maximum Fury, that's the last one, use Barret's basic attack. It works very well against this thing. They just work. They just work. So, I mean, I don't know. It's your own personal preference of who you want to bring with you, but I just know that bringing Barret worked really well. Now, on that same note, though, I did this without Yuffie, okay? And I'm probably faded for doing this without Yuffie, but I feel like Yuffie would have made this fight a little bit easier, and I wanted to learn the mechanics of the fight so I could make the video. But if you got Yuffie on your team, she's got Brumal Form and she's got Blindside, that's going to make the fight so much easier. I haven't used Yuffie on this fight yet, but I can just assume that if you're about to get hit, you see that you're about to get hit, you can use Brumal Form and just get out of the way of the attack, and that'll probably make it so much easier to fight this thing. And then you've got the Blindside. If you do get hit, you can hit him, with a counter attack, whatever like that, and that'll probably, because I think it says that he gets weakened or pressured also by using ATB abilities. So yeah, definitely bring Barret, bring Yuffie. I think that would really work. Tifa for sure was probably like the weakest link on the team for this one, but I used her specifically so she could bring the teammates out of danger. And I'm pretty sure like Yuffie has something like that as well. Alright, so that's it. Those are all the tips that I have for you for this Odin fight. I was going to do like a full-on guide like where I break down all of the attack patterns, but he has a lot of moves. He has just too many, and I don't want to do that, honestly. But these tips, these are the things right now, after spamming this fight for about 2 hours, these are the things that helped me to win the fight. So if you have any questions, like some of the things was just unclear, let me know down in the comments and I'll try to answer you. But I think with this set of tips, you should be good to fight Odin. And again, you're probably not like me. I'm super sped. You're probably smarter than I am, and it wouldn't take you 2 hours to figure this crap out. Hopefully this will cut your time in half. All right? I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.